Why, good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day thus far. And tonight's satsang and meditation is really focused on mindfulness. Now, one of the most beautiful things that each of us can do is really just be here and now, marinating in the stillness of our own being. And tonight, we're going to tap into that so we can really dive deep into our own experience and unlock our full potential. So, let's let out some of that tension from the day and take a nice deep breath. And just a loving exhale, sigh of relief. Again, we'll take that 2 more times. Nice deep breath in. If you need to stretch too, this is a good opportunity just to let some tension out. Just let everything fall away. And one last deep breath in. And just an open mouth exhale, let that jaw drop. Already I'm feeling relaxed, so let's dive deep. With each tap of the bell, I want you to take a nice deep breath, filling yourself up with that love and light around you, that energy, that prana, chi, the vital forces of this universe. And before we begin, I lovingly invite you into the space of my own heart, the collective heart of all. So you may witness, so you may experience your own inner peace and calm, like a warm hug radiating from your own light and love within. I lovingly invite you to let go, to take this opportunity tonight, or whenever you are listening, as that loving invitation to simply be as you are, to awaken to the pureness within, and to observe that radiating love and spark of life in which you are, in which all is, and to fully awaken to your full potential and liberate yourself from anything holding you back from recognizing such beauty, the unique shine that is your inner light. And with this last tap of the bell, we allow our attention to shift to the fading sound of the singing bowl, and to drop all tensions and internal happenings, to simply observe everything, to allow ourselves to separate from the attachments, from the bodily perceptions, to simply be as we are. For it's here in this silence, this stillness, we come to see everything from our true position. The observer, the witness, the silent knower, It matters not what happens outside of you or within you. Everything is seen by this sense of me. Everything we have in this world is experienced from that position of I. But what happens when we explore this concept, this I am, this meanness, our sense of being, but without identification, without expectation, without assumptions and past happenings, but simply marinate in that knowing, here in the now. Take off those jackets of conditioning. Forgive and let go of the past. And witness the beauty that you are currently. When we stop this external search, when we seek to enter our own heart, life unfolds. And as experienced, it's not something that happens to us, it's happening from us. We just finally allow it to shine forth. When we shift our attention, our affection, towards our own beingness, unidentified, undefined, we come to see ourselves for what we really are through experience. It's that inner beauty. It's that inner light and knowing that radiates from us. We know it as peace, calm, relaxation, love. But ultimately, we can only experience it when we finally let go of what we think this awakening, these enlightenment moments, these spiritual happenings will be. We finally can experience them freely. For when we assume, we dictate our reality. When we judge, we confine the happenings and potential of our experience. But like a child, when we allow everything to simply flow and we dance with that tune of life, we finally experience the lessons it's always tried to teach us. But this genuine, sincere looking must come from within us for us to experience it first. Looking within your own heart is not an action. It's simply being and living life from your true position. And the many words we have to define and exclude mean nothing and cannot comprehend nor ultimately define what it is we experience. It can only be known. Allow yourself in this moment to simply feel the body, feel the space around it. Observe the space within it. takes no effort, for you are that sphere of infinite resources to hear, listen, feel, sense. And when we allow ourselves to embrace and accept everything that arises, there is no such thing as distractions. There are only happenings. Now, if that profound sense of knowing begin to shift your attention inwards, as we entertain that question that many ask and stumble into in this spiritual journey. Can the seer be seen? Can the witness be witnessed? Can you observe the observer? To the mind, this may perplex it, enabling tangents to run around, or it may simply silence it. The purpose of such questions are not to truly define an answer through the mind, but to experience it through your beingness. When you allow yourself to lovingly look inwards, what is it you observe? What is it you sense? It matters not what happens around you, but what happens and arises within you. That determines everything in this world. So why not come to know and explore this inner looking and inner space fully? Is it not the most important thing? If sensations, emotions, or thoughts distract you, shift your attention to the silence between them. For when we are mindful and aware of these happenings, they can no longer influence us. Here in this moment, this slice of now, gaze upon your own inner looking. Firmly root your attention to your own sense of observation and watch everything else drop away. For when we do this, it's like shifting our gaze from the cloud passing by to the infinite blue sky and space beyond. When we separate our identity and our own affection from the temporary to the unchanging, we begin to awaken to our true sense of self, observed through its pureness that radiates, often observed and experienced as that calm, that relaxation, that elation and peace. But again, words can do no justice to what we truly are. The closest words that come to truly define what we are is love, is light. For it's here everything gains its source of power. So allow yourself to be here in this moment, shifting your own gaze to that inner love and light within you. That space of the heart that shines forth. And that sense of calm and peace that washes over us and immerses us with that relaxing and warming sense of being. Take a deep breath here, simply observing the body. And as that exhale drops away, begin to observe your own sense of stillness within. Again, take a loving deep breath. And release it effortlessly. One more deep breath here. And let it fall away. With your next inhalation, hold that breath in as long as you can. Do not shift your attention towards the body breathing, but allow it to simply be as you dive deep within yourself. Again, creating space and separation from this bodily attachment. If necessary, take another deep breath. And it's here with this simple practice you can begin to liberate yourself from these reactionary happenings of form. Tapping into that potential of your beingness as you effortlessly allow life to flow. Again, if necessary, take one more deep inhalation and hold it. As you shift that attention back to that observer and witness that is you, that I am presence within us. We can begin to drop away all of these conditionings and squeeze out that sponge so we can remain pure as we always are in truth. For it's here in this moment, what we know as the present, as you often hear me say, the now. This is the only experience that ever exists. And when we give our full attention to our own beingness in this now, there is no limitations that can hold you back, for you leave no time for anything else. There is no space for anything to manifest but your own beingness, which is divine in nature and origin. And it's here in this flow. It's here in this slice of now that you tap into the heavenly forces that you are embodied from, the cosmic, eternal energies that are ever dancing like the ebb and flow of the tides. And when you dive deep into the ocean of your own beingness, you radiate its beauty through that beautiful, unique soul you are. And it's this loving expression of life. It's that loving expression of you that you can give back as a gift to the world, to uplift, inspire, and transform all around you as that beautiful God of manifestation, that wonderful and magnificent goddess of creation you are. So allow yourself to simply be as you are. And allow it to unfold like a beautiful flower with your ever gazing attention of affection. And like nurturing that spark in small ember, you will awaken your divine flame and allow it to shine and rage forth to illuminate the darkness around you. With the next tap of the bell, allow yourself to take in a loving deep breath before releasing a powerful yet relaxed Om. And while you chant out this divine chord, recognize that it is that representation of you, of that love, of that capacity of creation and manifestation. And as you sing forth this originating note, lose yourself in your own sound and proclaim your love for not only yourself but for life and the creator of it. Mm. 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 Namaste. I bow to that divine within you and that loving light you are. Now, the only question that I have actually kind of stems from one that I received in a different satsang, but it was also in some of the comments. And I just kind of want to highlight it because it's something that's really important for everyone to know. So, Haley, you're getting a shout out for this one. Um, and it was something of really kind of overcoming the fear and angst. So, I'll just kind of summarize a little bit of the chat in the form of a question. It's how do you really overcome the distress distractions and different happenings arise within us when we really begin our practice of meditation and awakening. And I just like to kind of summarize it as this: you got to walk through those valleys of the shadows of death. I really just think it was said perfectly by, the prophet, the master, the teacher, whatever you like to see them as, but Jesus, when he said, you really have to go through the valley of the shadows of death before you enter that kingdom of heaven. And it's a valley of shadows of death. So it's important to understand that it's not actually a valley of death. You're not actually going to die. But it's, I guess you could say this is a loose metaphor for the ego, that, at least how I interpret it, the way you can see it is your mind likes to really, again, as you hear me say so often, tell you to put your money where your mouth is. So it's going to try to rile you up. It's going to be that cunning coyote and fox of native lore, and always try to get you to go off your path, your search, to distract you from this ultimate inner looking. And again, we have to understand the role of the ego. It's the antagonist in our own film. You're the hero of your own journey. You're the hero of your own experience. And you can't have a great hero without a great villain. The movies aren't good. We all know that. And you have to look at the as above, so below comment. And we literally manifest what happens within us. Again, you're a god and goddess of creation. So the ego is that role of antagonist in our experience. It's meant to draw up these fears. It's meant to draw up these distractions of the mind and of the heart. And it's a challenge, an opportunity for you to overcome it. That's the beauty of it. It's never something that's meant to really break you. It's meant to make you into something so much more. And as I always like to say, when we separate ourselves from ego, we utilize the tool it's really trying to teach us. The ego is separation. It's the original sin, so to speak. It's what takes us away from this oneness, this understanding of self. And really, it takes us away from recognizing that you are life itself. So when we separate ourselves from this concept of, I'm just alone in this, I'm just doing this by myself, it's just, there's no one else like this, and you just wash it off, you're left with the pureness that you are. When the ego's trying to bring up something that bothers you, oh, I don't like the way they said that, I don't like the way they did that, it's meant to give you something to really look at for yourself. We project everything in this world, and what bothers us in others is really just a lesser or greater version of what we do to ourselves and others. So it's one of those things where we need to recognize that when we allow ourselves to directly confront those inner happenings, we can push right through it. I almost like to say it's kind of like in those kids' movies where you see those big shadows and you hear these sounds like it's a huge monster, and then the screen pans over and it's just like a tiny little mouse with some leaves, with a fire behind it, so it makes it look all scary. That's the ego. The ego is it's our pained and hurt childlike self. And when we can heal those wounds of the heart and really confront it and question why, then we can heal it and overcome. We learn, we understand, we assimilate, we forgive, we forget, but ultimately it's because we learn. So allow yourself to fully tap into your own potential by directly confronting those inner happenings. Question them passionately, with such determination, knowing that you'll achieve everything you want in this world when you really give yourself the chance. You can manifest whatever you want. You already are doing it. And when we serve our true, pure, higher purpose, your abilities really are infinite. But there's no greater search than that inner one. May the fruit of knowledge offer you a seed. And in that seed, may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all who ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. I love you so much. Thanks for joining me this evening. And we're back to our usual time, Sunday. So tune in 8 a.m. for a nice morning satsang. Now, again, take whatever you learned and experienced from this session tonight or whenever you're listening. And remember, it never leaves you. It is you. It really is. So just don't lose sight of it. Because when you shift your attention of affection to that pure space within you and come to identify and separate your identity from all the external stuff to that internal calm and love and light, you'll be in that flow all the time, always learning, gleefully dancing through this experience called life. And you'll be at a state in which so many have to take drugs to experience. But the beautiful thing about life is you create everything. So change your perspective, change how you see yourself, and it will manifest into what you see. And most importantly, you create what you give affection for within you. So, have a great night. Love you so much. Peace.